When I first created the Decade system, I really was making it for myself to make better and less emotional decisions in my return to amateur golf. The plan really was not to eventually host seminars or sell an app. I just wanted to win the US Mid-Am and play in the Masters. After watching players like Bryson DeChambeau and Will Zalatoris make monumental strides in their games as amateurs, I realized the Decade system was filling a void in golf instruction that I'm not sure anyone really realized was as big as a problem as it was. With that in mind, I created the elite version of the Decade app with high-level players in mind almost exclusively. I had no idea how many 2 to 15 handicap players would buy the app to help them on their quest to become the elite players that the app was actually designed for. I knew at the time the information was pretty dense for those players, but didn't really have the time or the understanding of how much a scaled-down version would help those players out. With that in mind, I've spent the last few months creating content with the junior golfer and roughly your 2 to 15 type handicap players in mind. We're calling it Decade Foundations. In order to tailor this more to the mid-handicap golfer, we're going to introduce the ideas a little bit slower versus in the Elite app you just get 4 hours of information on day one when you sign up. The Foundations content, we're going to slowly trickle it in over the course of 6 months. That way you should be able to learn and digest the concepts before it starts getting too advanced or too overwhelming. As you can see, we've got a syllabus pretty well lined up, and also the stats tracking is going to slowly build from just the Tiger 5 all the way into eventually including strokes gained putting, penalty shots, moving eventually into the point where you'll be able to decide on your own if you want to jump to the full elite GPS stats entry or if you just want to stick with the Tiger 5. By the end of the Foundations content in month 6, you will have learned the entire Decade course management system and will be ready to start shooting the scores that you know that you're capable of. One of the key distinctions between the Elite and Foundations app will still be the use of GPS data. For the Foundations app, we're going to try to really streamline the stats entry portion of it so that way you can use all of your time for watching tutorial content rather than entering data. Then as your scoring average drops and your skills continue to improve, we'll start using the GPS data entry in order to find those mistakes that are far more subtle and harder to spot. If you're an Elite member, you will get all of the Foundations content in the normal menu bar under Foundations, and as I slowly start to create that content over the next few months, it will just appear automatically in your app. I really did enjoy making the content thinking of that slightly less experienced player, and I truly think that it's probably the best product we've made so far. I do think Elite players still need the full Elite version, but I think that the stepping stones that Foundations will create are going to be fantastic for the learning process. The reviews on the new content that are already coming in have been wonderful from both existing Elite members and new Foundations members. As always, I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan and I believe in the idea of constant and never-ending improvement. I can assure you we've got a few more tricks up our sleeve to keep on making this product even better.